talk about how the foreign nurses living their life in USA. First of all, let me introduce you to my good friend Lu Ping. She is a nurse and she is working in USA for over a year. And me, myself, my name is Joanna. I am also a nurse in USA. Just barely hit the first anniversary of being a nurse in this country. Let's see what are the questions that we have for her today. It's gonna be interesting. Stay tuned. Okay, Lu Ping, let me start from the first question. Where are you from?
I come from China about 4 years ago.
Oh, you came from China. You are the Chinese girl.
I am.
How many years have you been living in USA?
It's almost 4 years now.
Oh, that's quite something. Almost 4 years. Where did you graduate and obtain your bachelor degree of nursing from?
I graduated in 2012 in China.
2012.
Yeah.
Right now, where we are right now is her house in Florida, and this is July of 2018. So let's see, let me do the math. She graduated 6 years ago.
Yes, I don't look like a beer nurse. Graduated 6 years ago.
Oh, compared to me, 20 years ago, guys. Okay, then that means you might already working over there in China.
Yeah, after I graduated in China 2012, then I got my license really soon. Then I started working in Shanghai. It's a really big city in China. So about 2 years. So from 2012 to 2014.
I see. Oh, I think this is one thing that we might have to clarify a little bit more for everybody to understand. I'm sure that you guys can see that we both are Asians. And in Asia, over in Asia, both in my country, Thailand, and in her country, China, we have the government-supported hospital, which will be the places that pretty much also be a medical school, the teaching school, and the fee or the price of the medication and everything would be quite lower than the private hospital, which run by whoever that owns that. So this is the difference between the hospitals in Asia and over here in USA. And we both had the experience to work in the government-supported hospital. She was in the government-supported hospital in Shanghai. I was in the government-supported hospital in Bangkok, Thailand. So there are some differences that we're gonna talk later about it, okay? So you said you graduated and obtained your bachelor degree from China, and you also worked there. So what about you especially when you were a nurse over in China?
I worked as a pediatric nurse, and it's also ICU. So it's a really super busy and super critical area.
I see. And what about your job here? What's your specialty?
Actually the same. I didn't change.
That's good. She's so lucky that she didn't have to learn so much or change so much.
Yes.
What bring you to USA?
Because by any chance I met my husband. His name is Paul, in 2008, and then we started dating around 2011. Then we started getting married.
Well, that's a long story short. You made it like it's nothing. 3, 4, 5 years, psh, done.
Then because we know be friends 6 years before we got married. So we know each other very well. So we decided, yeah, we are good. I think we'll be a really good couple. Even he is much older than me.
That's a good way to learn that you can have a relationship and a good marriage, right?
Yes.
That's a good one. So what's your husband's job?
He is a professor, so he teaches economic and finance in college. in America, but at the same time, sometimes he will travel around, teach in some Asian countries, just for fun.
That's how you met him, I guess.
Yes, correct.
That's good that you can learn and see how life would go together. Well, as we already knew that she also a nurse here already a year, right? How did you become an RN here in USA? Do you have to do anything special, or you can just fly in and transfer your license and then you can get a job? Which I have to let everybody know. Can you imagine that a lot of people guess that I just fly in and get my license to work in this country as a nurse? We're gonna see what's her answer.
I think that's impossible. You just got your license and then fly in America to become RN here. Because in America they have very strict rule, and if you're a foreigner nurse, even you got a license in your country, and they require you take the English test and pass their nursing board test, then you can get your license in America, then you can work as an RN here.
Yes, which I can add on top about that answer.
Yeah,
because I also one of those RNs that needed to take the exam. Every state in USA, they have the different rules. Some they might not require you to take the English exam. Some they might have you to go back to study if you did not work for 4 years. As I said, everywhere is different, but since we are in Florida, we can talk deeper about the restriction in Florida. We have to get our transcript evaluated to see if all of them met the American standard. We also have to take the English test to show that we are somewhat understand and be able to communicate to work. They have 3 choices for us. That would be TOEFL, IELTS, and TOEIC. They're all comparable. So they already told you what actually told us. They actually told us about what would be the score that they want from either TOEFL, IELTS, or TOEIC. And then you have to do the fingerprint, you have to do the background check, and then for all of that, once it's done, you're gonna get a letter that we call ATT, which, let me think what the real name, authorization test taker, I don't know, I don't remember, but it's an ATT. So once you got that letter, that allow you to take the test, you can register yourself with Pearson Rules in the location that's closer to you. Which, another thing that you can know, that I can tell you right now, you can also take the exam in your country. You just have to apply the exam to the state that you are about to come in. It depends. If you already have a relationship with any Americans, you might just go to that board of state directly. But if you are not, there are some agencies that they still have the employees that willing to hire the nurses from outside the country. But that way, the only one state that you can apply for is New York. That I actually have another video that talk about this separately with the application and stuff. Okay, so now we get back to our guest today. How did you prepare for the NCLEX-RN exam?
Okay, at first you will study your goal. So when I come to America, actually pregnant and really quickly.
You pregnant?
When I come
and
to
you
America,
studied?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you are so tough.
No, I just like working as a nurse. So I set my goal. I said, okay, within a year, I had to take the test. So my husband helped me. So we start the process and got like a joint set, got the apply and the education, transcription, evaluate, and got
which
approved.
costs a lot of money.
Right, and but you should but it's a good investment. Yeah, so you will get payback.
Yes. So you study for the NCLEX.
Yeah, then you have to search for all the books that help you prepare for the exam. Like they have some book. What's the name of the book?
We both use Saunders.
Saunders, yes.
Very thick one.
Yeah.
That actually also talk about how hard of life when we were studying, which this is one thing that I really want to explain everybody. We both came from Asia, and in Asia, pretty much, right? I think every country in Asia, we have our own language. Like you use Chinese, and in China, you have more than just two. There's so many languages.
Local language, but we use Mandarin.
Yes, and I use Thai. When we study, yes, we study technical term in English, but we still have a lot of other words that we use that we translated to be our own language. So once we needed to study to get the nursing license in USA, everything in English, you imagine how crazy that we were to study. Sometimes, I think you have that problem that I think I also have. I feel like,
I don't know.
What that word?
Maybe I know Chinese, what that word, but I don't know what English means.
Sometimes I feel like, what is that word in Thai? I don't remember. I needed to call my friends, my classmates, and ask them, can you help me explain this and that and those? Because I didn't understand. And sometimes when I study for the pharmacy, the pharmacology, I needed to call my friend who is already have her PhD in pharmacology, or the pharmacist, because I was a farm rep before. I have some of those pharmacists, so they explain me in Thai, and then I search for more in English and combine them together. It's so crazy.
Yeah, like I will download like a dictionary, then I can read the English book, then same time I translate to Chinese and help me understand what this means. Because all my knowledge all my nursing knowledge is English, it's Chinese, it's not English. So I have to translate and help me understand what this means.
Yes, it's really hard work, and I could not imagine how we survive.
And just you just have the goal, and you just keep working on it. Don't give up. Don't give up.
Yes, that's what we both keep telling ourselves during that time. I think I studied for over a year, and I kept telling myself, I'm gonna make it.
Yeah.
I will go back to be a nurse again, and the only one way that I can practice a nurse, that I can practice nursing in this country, I need to have a license. So I need to pass the test. I must get the license. Put your mind straight to that and study hard, right? Okay, you already study and pass the exam. So now we talk about job. Does it take long for you to get a job?
For me, I think I'm pretty lucky. So after I got my RN license, maybe a couple months, I got 2 job offers, both are pediatrics. So because I just focus on pediatric area, so I just searching this kind of job opportunity. So I got my job maybe within 3 to 4 months.
That's good. You were so lucky. Yeah. I think it's really hard to get a job too, especially when you really focusing on only the field, on your specialty that you did it before. Good. That was good. You are good about it. What are the differences between working here in USA and back then in China? Do you feel any differences?
I feel like totally different in both these 2 countries, because in China everything is a little out of date, and this is part in America more modern, everything technology. So I have to learn all the technology things.
Yes, all tools and machines.
All machines and all computer documentation now. And so, but in China we are working on proving. So this is just still like late behind. And another part is the working environment is different. And like in China, you know, the very huge population. So like in hospital, it's
so crowded
and the noise
with all mad people,
the arguing, yelling. So it's not for everybody thinking like a hospital is a treat people and it should be a peaceful place, but it's not. Sometimes
it's so loud,
really violent
with all the noises.
Yeah,
argument.
It's like a grocery store or like a barking market, right?
I think I can imagine that. Okay.
So here, same like ICU here is a private room, so it's so peaceful and quiet.
Does it mean healthcare is reachable? Because it seems like everybody can just go to the hospital. Easier,
yeah,
right?
this part true. We don't have to make appointment. Like here, if you want to have surgery, you probably make like appointment like a couple months later. Then you can get your surgery done, and then you want to see a doctor. Maybe like after months, then you feel I don't need a doctor now.
Yeah, otherwise you have to go to emergency room, which is freaking expensive.
Why? Yeah.
Yes, and what about if you already work, it's been a year, and you also have your little boy.
Yes.
How do you do it? How do you manage all the time and all the works and all the craziness?
So this is another part I really like working in America. Here, the nurse, they have a right to choose your schedule. Like we only work 3 days a week.
So you are the
12-hour shift.
The day or the night?
I only work at days. So they let you choose. You can work at nights all days. So you don't need to have a shift back and forth. So you just keep your schedule.
One thing, if you work night shift, you get the shift differential, which
is
is
really
money.
Good pay. Yes, good extra pay. So this is good part, and we always give you they give you fill your schedule 2 months in advance, so you can make your schedule match your lifestyle or your. Sometimes my coworker, they will go to school and they work as full time, so they will match with the school. So this part is really good.
Yes, I agree about that, because I also work for the day. Even my shift start very early because I am a dialysis nurse. My shift start at 5 a.m. in the morning, but we still have some time to do some other thing. Even on my day off, I pretty much get exhausted, but because I only work 4 days, so I still have some time to take rest and get into my life, my personal life. Okay.
Yes.
When you already working, and you said there's so many new things, technologies, tools and machines, how do you study and get yourself into the new things in life?
So first, you always have a good aptitude. Sorry, have good attitude. Always have the desire to learn, and always be humble. Try to ask a question, and don't lose any chance to practice over and over.
Yes.
Then you can get it.
Medical field and nursing field, you
It's
are not learning
practice.
from textbook. You have to see, you have to smell, and you have to touch. What else did we miss? Yes, we need to learn from the real thing. So keep practicing and ask questions. Right, I agree about that. This is a big question. How do you like your job? You have been a pediatric nurse for how many years total? 6 years.
No, in China for 2 years, in America 1 year.
Oh yeah, I
so
forgot.
3 years.
Yes.
So I have a couple of years break because my personal life, family life.
Yeah, and we also need to take the test before that. So
Yeah.
totally it's 3 years. How do you like it?
So I think I will work as I really like my career so far, and I'm pretty sure I will keep it as working as a nurse for many years. I don't know how many years, because always like you always want to try new things. But so far, I pretty enjoy it. I feel the job is not the job. Actually, it's kind of fun. You can interact with your patients and families and co-workers. So it's not that bored. Like it's really interesting, and to help people, and at the same time you get paid. You can support your own family too. So
yes. That's a good part of being here, and we have a job that we can support ourselves. We don't have to ask for the husband all the time. This is something funny, and that came from my my personal experience at work. Okay, I am Thai. It might be not a lot of Thais around my coworkers, so they seem to be really interested in my behavior, in my culture, and my food.
Yeah, the food
we pack breakfast and lunch to work, so it's pretty much 75% at least that they're gonna look at my food. Yeah, I eat everything. I eat Asian food, Thai food, Indian food, Korean food. I eat American food. I eat Greek. I eat Italian. But anytime when it's something like out of their comfort zone, they're gonna ask me, "What is that? What are you eating?" That kind of thing. You have that question?
You know, I think Joanna is pretty open, because she will bring some weird stuff to the working place. But
it's not so weird. It's just something normal.
If I cooking like the pig belly or the pork belly or some chicken feet, I always only eat at home.
I have not brought them. I have not brought chicken feet to work. Sorry. It's only pork belly and some other strong smell, which is Asian. We use a lot of spices to cook, so sometimes it's a lot of strong smell. And another thing is also about I eat very, very hot food. Sometimes when I heat up my food, they smell the fire, that kind of thing. But she doesn't eat that really hot. Even she came from Hunan.
Yeah, they like spicy too.
Hunan is really hot and spicy. I remember one time she told me there's special unique chili in Hunan.
Yeah.
I really want to go there. Let me save up some money. Okay, done with
only
food.
For the chili?
From some other food too. From some other food too. Okay, my last question. Do you have any advices for nurses from China or elsewhere who want to come to work here in USA?
Oh, okay. So yeah, I think my advice for the foreign nurse they want to come to America. First, I think you need really clarify yourself, like you want to come, and you have the strong goal and willing to come.
Yes.
And then you work really hard and just focus on this, and don't care about what other people try to persuade you try to say something that you don't want to come.
Negative
things. So just focus on this part, then you can make it.
You have to believe in yourself, and you need to willing to work hard. The other thing will be later. How I'm gonna come here, how I'm gonna get a job. The first thing that you must have in your hands is the nursing license from USA.
It was an accident at the end of the video that you have been watching from the beginning of this one. When Luping and I were talking about how to become a nurse and what our life here in this country, in USA, after the advice from her, the camera just stopped working. So I created this video, another one to attach to the previous one, to explain you about how to become a registered nurse in USA. Yes, we all know nurses are in need in this country, and there's and there are many states to go to work, which is not everybody who can just buy the ticket and fly here and be a nurse here. There's some rules that you must follow, and here we talk about it. In order to come to be a nurse in this country, you have to have the nursing license that works for the board in this country. And how are you going to get that? You have to apply to take the NCLEX-RN exam, which stands for the national test that any nurses must take in order to get the nursing license. But as a foreigners, it doesn't matter that right now you are in your country or you're already here in USA with your student visa or with your any other kind of visa or pair visa or any of those. You still have to do the same thing. You have to apply for the NCLEX-RN exam. And right now, the only one state in USA that doesn't require SSN or Social Security number in order to apply for NCLEX-RN exam is New York. New York will require you to get your transcript evaluated as same as any other state, but they don't ask you to have any proof of English competency. They wouldn't ask you to put any social security numbers, which you don't have. They don't ask you to put the address in USA. This is the easiest and the fastest. Well, as far as I know, the easiest and least complication that you can apply to get the nursing license. So, in order to work here, as I said, you can't just buy the ticket and come here. Being a nurse, as same as any country in the world, you have to have the nursing license of that country. Not any difference in USA. You need to have American nursing license. As I mentioned earlier, you can just apply for the NCLEX-RNs. You pass it, you have the American nursing license. Yes, that's the first thing. The next thing, you also need to have the employment authorization document. But how are you going to have it if at the beginning you even not have your social security number? There's the way. The first one, if you don't want to be helped with anybody, you can apply the job by yourself online. There are two questions that you will find in that application. Are you legally authorized to work in the United States? Yes or no? Will you now or in the future require sponsorship for employment visa status, such as H-1B status? Yes or no? You can honestly answer these two questions and hope that they would be interested in your resume and would like to do all the work to get you to work here in USA. Or another way that you can get a job, you can go to the job agency and this guy will help you to find a job. You can only ask the job for yourself. How can I say that? You can only apply for this kind of agency who already have the hospitals or any rehab centers or nursing homes that willing to do all the paperwork for you. And most of the time, these job agencies would ask you to have American nursing license and also the proof of English competency, either TOEFL or IELTS that you must have it. It pretty much most of them they would have these two and will be some additional documents. They also ask the very high score of the proof of English competency, but that's the way. If you're willing hard to do it, you will get it, just like how you pass the NCLEX-RN. But scam alert, you have to keep in mind that there are also some scammers that say I can get a job for you in USA and you have to do this and that and those and you have to pay for me and you have to do this for me. But no, job agency, they get paid, they will get money by you getting a job. So for sure, two things you have to have right now. Don't break yourself down, don't be depressed. You first have to apply for the NCLEX-RN, pass the board, and have the American nursing license. And from there, you can looking for a job agency that they have those kind of job for you. I have known some, my friends have known some, and it's just like any other job, any other company, that they have the good people to work for, they have somebody that who are not so good. But yes, that's the way. Stay tuned with me. I'll find you some more information, and if I know more, I will talk more about that later. I will find out about this job agency and how you're gonna get a job here. But first of all, apply for the NCLEX-RN to get your American nursing license